the first.
Yes, I know.
Okay, welcome back everybody. Today is the 1st of September. Just did front brake pads, and before you do anything with brakes, you need to pump the pedal. Don't put it all the way down, just halfway. Pump it. I got brakes. Release the rear brake. Start the engine. Put it in reverse. All right, and here we go. And the reason for this ride is, like I said, I just installed brake pads. I am leaving Saturday morning on a trip that I haven't even planned yet. Today's Thursday. The wife decided to come with me, and we are breaking in the front pads. So normally I do this by myself, and you get up about 45 miles per hour, and you moderately stop to about 25 or so, and you do that a handful of times. And you're just seating these pads into the rotors. So the rotors have little micro scratches, you can say, and that pad's flat and it doesn't hit the whole surface of the rotor at first. So you need to break these pads in before they truly seat properly against the rotor. We will go after this little car. Get out of the way, Nissan. Whew. So I'm big. I mean, I don't like working on something and then as soon as you're done working on it, you leave. Because anything can happen. I don't care how experienced you are. Where was that car? It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. So like I said, I'm leaving in a couple days. And this ride is just to make sure that we are good to go. I'll go through a couple heat cycles and then I'll be done. Now the reason whenever you do any brake work, you pump the brakes is you push those pads away from the rotor. You put your new pads in. Those pads are still kicked out away from the rotor, so there's a gap. And then what will happen if you don't pump these brakes at first, then when you go to hit your brakes the first time, the brakes will go to the floor and you will not stop. I've seen it done in a shop numerous times. I've done it to where the vehicle was off, I pumped the brakes got hard, and start the vehicle up, the brakes again, and all I did was depleted all the vacuum in the power booster. Ended up not having brakes, and then you're sitting there just pumping the brakes trying to get the car stopped. So pump your brakes, make sure that they're seated, that way you have brakes. And then if you have, this only has 14,800 miles on it, so I'm not too concerned. See, Trey, look, it's the new wing place out of a... Have to try it. So, like I said, this thing is fairly new, so I'm not too concerned. But if I go to do, or when I go do the black Spyder, you know, we're at 80,000 miles on it. You have your master cylinder, which has a bore inside of it, and you got two pistons, and then those pistons are, in front of those pistons, you have these two rubbers that push the fluid. Well, they're only I don't want to say they're only designed, but for the last 80,000 miles, they've only traveled so far, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I haven't changed my brake fluid yet, and it's been a number of years. So there could be some deposits left over inside that master cylinder. So the theory is, if it's designed, or I'm sorry, if it's in the last 80,000 miles, only traveled a half inch of it, the inch of bore, and you get some buildup, if you push that all the way to the floor, you can then damage the rubbers in the master cylinder. So anytime I bleed brakes, and I do it the old-fashioned way by pumping, only take it halfway. Never go past halfway of that stroke. Or better yet, just get a vacula, and that vacula helps draw the fluid out. But there we go. Enough tech talk. We are going for a ride. And it's not the weekend. I was telling my wife yesterday, the day before yesterday, I do not like being a weekend warrior at all. This sucks, to be honest with you. So I need to, you know, I just need to get out there after work and ride. This guy is going really slow. See if I got enough time. I got enough time. She's still pretty relaxed back there. She's not squeezing me yet, saying, "You need to slow down." Then we'll jump over. All right, all right. Be a good time to apply the old brakes. Here we go, nice and easy. We'll speed back up again. Make sure no one's behind you. I normally do this in a parking lot, but this road will work just fine. I'm up to 60. Hit the brakes. Back down to 50. I can hear them hitting the, you can hear that noise of the pads. Perfectly fine. Still no one behind me. Shifting to 6th. 65 miles per hour. Down to 51, and there we go. Now we'll let them cool off. And we'll do it again down the road. It feels really good. These last brakes have been like super squeaky. And I was really shocked at 10,000 miles. Like, you don't understand how shocked I was at 10,000 miles. I had to put rear brakes on this thing. It just blew my mind. I mean, everything else I've ever ridden through BRP, I mean, I'm getting 18, 20,000 miles out of them. But son, so, you know, this thing uses a lot of rear brake when the stability system's on, and with this thing thinking I'm always riding with a passenger, I can only imagine how often it's applying those rear brakes. So at 10,000 miles and I'm at 15, I went ahead and changed the front ones. They were pretty much ready. I think they say the thickness of a dime is about where you want to go. Anything less than that, they're not going to dissipate the heat properly. So I changed them. I always go with EBC brakes. They seem to be a little cheaper than the OE brakes. Now, they're brakes, right? You don't want to go out and buy the $9.99 brake pads on your brand new Can-Am Spyder. But, you know, if you buy a name brand brake pad like EBC is a great brake company, just like Brembo. I don't see an issue with that. I truly don't. Now, I mean, you always can get the argument that the OE pad is designed, you know, for this caliper and this stability system and analogs. I get that, but as long as you're going with a name brand brake pad. So I usually get them through Baja Ron, but this time I went through Le Monster. I can't figure out that website. He has a new one on Facebook. I just can't figure it out for the life of me. So I gotta do the mirrors next. Oh, I need to stay on the road. There we go, back on the road. She still didn't squeeze me. Yay! Yeah, I need to do the mirrors. These 2020s, the mirrors just flop, and you can't see nothing. Like that sun in my eyeballs. So I needed to do that, and I got a new solution to a RAM mount, and I've had it now for a few weeks. So I need to make a video. But I think what I'm going to do in the next 2 days is I'm going to try to get this thing washed up. I'm going to plan a trip. I think I'm going to go back down into Sweetwater, Tennessee. The hotels are pretty affordable. And I'm not too far off from anything and everything. And I don't know what I'll do this time around down there. I'm right off Cherahalo. Yeah, that Skyline Drive, maybe. and the Dragon and the Foothills Parkway and Moonshine 28 and Fontana Dam, and you know, so I think I'm going to go back down there and just see what I can get myself into for a couple days, and then I'll work my way back home and be back to work Thursday. So I'll have from Saturday to Wednesday. I gotta be home Wednesday at some point in time. What a beautiful, beautiful day. And I hate seeing that the leaves are changing. They need to stop changing. Just stop changing. It's not going to get colder. No. No, I don't allow it. It's going to stay this all foreverness. It's, I don't know, it's like the low 80s, low humidity, beautiful riding weather. Let's do, no one's behind us. Let's do another break. And I think they say some weird number like 200 stops or something like that before your brakes are seated in all the way. As long as I feel that they're biting, I'm pretty happy, to be honest with you. You know, like, yep, she's gonna punch me in the back of the head. She's gonna punch me. I know she is. So that was pretty decent. Her left hand's pretty rigid on my left side. I'm gonna get it. So now I'm gonna let everybody go. Thumbs up if you like the video. Remember, before you do anything, when you do brakes, make sure you have a brake pedal. Pump those brakes. And remember, try not to just, you know, push them all the way down. Try to keep that in mind, only do half of the travel. This thing's a new Spyder. I don't think there's any, I mean, I had it just over a year, so I don't think there's anything to worry about. But I still follow that rule. And big bump. Oof! That was a big bump. Where are we going? We'll go this way. All right, I think I did. Thumbs up. Stay safe. See you down the road.